I'm Rick Acampora. I'm the global CEO of Assembly, and I'm here with Barry Frey, the president and CEO of DPAA, and we are live from CES.
Right in the middle of it.
Yeah. So thanks for being here, Barry.
Great, Rick. Good to see you, man.
Yeah. I figure just dive right in and get into some questions around the DPAA. How long have you actually been with the DPAA?
Yeah, so I've been running the DPAA now for just about 10 years. And as you know, we are the global out-of-home trade and marketing organization, and we're dedicated to growing the industry via growing its digitization.
Got it. Okay. And I think, 10 years is a pretty long time. In that 10 years, what's been the biggest change you've seen? Is it around just that digitization of out of home?
You're exactly right, Rick.
Yep.
And that's kind of what we've been fomenting that. And what's very exciting is that from an industry that was largely upper funnel, billboards, the side of a road, now we are moving down the funnel. We're changing ads, and what digitization of the industry means is the ability to quickly change ads, to have dynamic ad insertion, to have programmatic, better addressability, targeting, attribution. So we become essentially a digital medium, which is very exciting, and now offering brands not only that top of funnel reach and brand awareness, but actually working down the funnel to understand the product better, to get closer to the audience, and then show action, whether it's visits to a store or a website. And it's an exciting time where we're really digitizing this great, oldest of all media.
I love that. And as you know, we just announced as Assembly a partnership
Yes.
with Talon and with Place Exchange to launch Shop Connect, which is doing exactly what you just outlined, which is amazing. Really getting more to brand and performance and connecting that through to an action and an outcome.
It's brand and performance, which is what Assembly assembles as
Yes.
well, right? Yeah. So
Very
we're
much so.
we're
Yeah.
a full funnel medium,
Yeah.
like you're a full funnel agency, and I appreciate you mentioning that because both Talon as well as Place Exchange are DPAA board members and good friends.
Got it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So excited for that. A quick question for you in terms of you sort of outlined the mission of DPAA. From your perspective, what are the biggest challenges that sort of the out-of-home industry is facing, as well as DPAA specifically? Like, what's the tough part of your job?
Yeah, I think is helping to communicate to brands and agencies that we do more than sit on the side of the road, which is still great, but we can actually provide everything that a digital media entity can, yet you can't skip our commercials. Incredibly brand safe environment. When you put an ad out on the street, if you're not telling the truth or you're not saying something real, you get tomatoes thrown at it. It's not like working in an ecosystem of a closed loop digital framework online. So it's really communicating that, and I've been involved in new media and innovations a lot of my life, so it is an evangelism element of working. It's education, it's information. I started out early with Ted Turner when I'd go on sales calls with Ted, and they'd say we have TV, radio, print budgets, we had out-of-home budgets, but Ted and Barry, thanks for coming in, we have no cable TV budgets. And we're doing the same evangelism now about this great digital medium that is out of home. So it's evangelism, education, and also, as you've seen as well, moving people off the status quo of, just doing new things and figuring out how to access this amazing power.
Yeah. Well, let's maybe stick with that education piece for a moment, because I think it's become harder and harder to educate as agencies get bigger and bigger, right? And clients and agencies, there's lots of silos and channel specific things. How are you working with agencies to do just that, to get that education sort of scaled and out there?
Great question. I appreciate that. So at the large holdcos, we've worked with them to actually break down the silos. So some of the large holdcos always had specialist out-of-home agencies, which in some manners were treated like outside vendors. They weren't part of the flow. We've actually worked with them to break down those silos and have them more in the flow of investment and planning. And also, we don't only work with the media people, we work with the creative elements, because what we've created here is a bright new creative canvas for creative entities to paint on, so to speak.
Yeah.
And with things like 3D and anamorphic, and even utilizing QR codes, there's so much that the creative people are getting excited about. So it's working with the creative people of the agencies, of course, the planners, communications, the buying groups, and then also directly with the brands who are keenly interested in what their brand means to the consumer.
Yeah, I imagine content and experience overall is becoming a much bigger part of the channel as a whole, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and not only just content, but addressable content or relevant content.
Right.
And as cookies that deprecated, we see the mitigation there. The power of context is incredibly important. So where the screens are located, who the audience is, becomes a level set much higher in the scheme of things.
Well, and the ability to be that precise now is quite amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Those are some of the challenges you just outlined. What's the biggest opportunity?
Yeah, I think doubling down on digital is a significant opportunity of all the elements: QR, AR, VR, 3D, programmatic, as I mentioned, addressable advertising, attribution. And then, of course, we're making the industry more diverse, which is critical too. That's where innovation, ideation comes from. But I think maybe the biggest opportunity is retail media. If you think about retail media, it's a $120 billion business, and only about 1% of retail media is actually advertising in store at the point of purchase or on the path to purchase. And we're still looking at a model where 85% of purchases still take place in real stores.
Yeah.
So as we're working with a lot of our members, Walmart Connect, Grocery TV, Simon Properties, really being there with powerful screens and messaging, where the path to purchase, we have a great company called Volta, which is in front of Whole Foods all around. So I think retail media is incredible opportunity for us. Yeah.
I think that's more and more of our clients are investing in and doubling down on retail media.
Yes. You guys are very good in that. That's right.
Yeah, thank you. And I think that's a big opportunity with this Shop Connect
very
sort
much
of
so.
offering that's been created, which is connecting that into retail specific and getting to that point of purchase. So,
absolutely.
That's definitely an exciting area. From your perspective, innovations, brands that stand out, examples?
Interesting. One of the examples I like is another partner of both of ours, Talon, once again. And they did something where they had for Shake Shack, a great truffle hunt, where people would go to another one of our members' intersection and in the streets of New York, and they'd scan QR codes, which would lead them on a bit of a hunt for the truffle, where they can dig down and get interactive and then win prizes.
Love it.
So now we're bringing interactivity to the out-of-home world as well. And Talon, a partner of yours and ours, great leadership over there, and they've done a great job.
Love it.
Yeah.
Great. CES, all around us.
Wow. You do a pan with the camera all around?
So I guess we're day 3 technically. What have you seen so far here that sort of got you excited, and what are you looking forward to seeing?
Media in the maelstrom, I like to call it, and I'm a big fan of alliteration. So this is my first moment on the floor. Okay. I've been here 3 days. I've been in tons of meetings, tons of dinners, more than one dinner a night. Yeah. What we do here, we curate an experience for our members, and you were a great participant yesterday, adding a lot of knowledge to our audience, where we bring in heads of agencies and heads of brands, and our members get a chance to interact, and it's a great sharing and learning experience. We're also doing a private tour today. And then last night, we brought our members to a special event at the Sphere. And have you seen that yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh my, it is a total immersive experience. You feel like a kid again. That sense of wonder when you're a child, and it's like, wow, I haven't experienced this before, and it's almost mind altering. It was great. And we saw the film Postcards from Earth, and it sends an important message about how wonderful and precious this earth is, and how we're kind of ruining it, and we don't have a lot of time to make a change. And it's talk about high definition, it's 18K, and you're sitting there and you're surrounded, and there's haptic seats which are moving as one scene was in a taxi in India that's kind of jostling down the street, and the seat is moving, and then when you get into this flying thing over the Grand Canyon, they shoot the air at you, and so that's great. And look, what I'm looking to see here is innovation in screens, innovation in media, what brands are thinking about, so we as a medium can help the brands on their path to success.
What's interesting there for me is what you described in terms of feeling like a kid and that sort of wonder and awe. I get that every time I go to Disney. We're big Disney people.
Right, yeah.
But it's about the experience, because people remember how you make them feel.
100%.
Right? And they, whether it's in the Sphere and what you experience there, or it's through digital out-of-home, immersive experiences, out-of-home in general, those are things that make people feel something.
And that's what they remember. That's right.
Yeah.
It gets inculcated into their body and mind, and that's a great point. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So I'll throw, I guess, maybe a couple more questions for you out, and then and wrap with a wish and a word. But what's the hidden gem? What's the one thing that you're sort of seeing either here at CES or just through your experience with DPAA that people should know about that they maybe don't know as much about? Whether that's a company that you've seen or is doing great work, or what's that sort of like?
I guess I would kind of almost summarize with what we spoke about, is that out of home is now digital, and it brings all the elements and entities in a supercharged way to the world's oldest and most powerful medium, and it is the fastest growing of all media percentage-wise. So I think that's the key here, plus the added opportunities that it is brand safe. You can't skip the ads. It's a large screen, larger than a mobile screen. Yet it also works incredibly well with social, because people are taking videos and pictures of all these great executions, and then they have an amplified life way after that. So I think the kind of simple message is that out of home is digital. It's a full funnel medium.
Yeah, great. I guess it wouldn't be a conversation around media today and marketing if we didn't at least say the word AI.
Well, sure.
From your perspective, what role is AI playing in digital out of home going forward?
I think the real excitement, of course, is generative AI, and because we are now out on screens, we encourage a lot of our members to put content on screens, not just ads. In fact, one of our members, M4, has shown that when you have screens in places, it's more modern, and then we do an ad perception study every year that shows that if you're putting content on screens, not just ads, people will look more. So what that means is a lot of our members are now developing their own content studios. So to put the content on or rework the ads or create the ads for it, and AI, I believe, is going to help in that content creation. In fact, we have one member at Canva, the great company with terrific creative tools, and they're getting very involved now in what does that screen look like from not only a commercial ad standpoint, but from a content surrounding the ad. Yeah. So I think AI, generative AI, companies like Canva and all of our media owner members are going to really take advantage of that to A, make better creative, and B, make the process more efficient and effective.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the tough part here. What is your biggest worry for out of home, for digital out of home in the marketplace, 24 and beyond? Biggest worry, or even just for what DPAA is doing?
Yeah, so we're expanding. We opened up a London office this year. We're working with the assembly folks in London.
Yep.
And we actually have members in every continent at this point. We have 180 member companies. When I started, we had 25 member companies, and now it's 180, like I said, all over the world. We need to go fast, and of course, inertia. We haven't done it that way, slows us up, and we help brands move product, brands, and services. So I guess my fear is just that conservatism gets in the way, that inertia impacts us negatively moving forward. But that's what we do, and we try to open up people's minds, and with that, it makes our lives more interesting and useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, so a wish.
Uh,
You get one wish. I can only grant one.
Only one. Thank you, Rick the Genie. Wow, that's a big question. Okay, so, wish, I think, that we continue to be the fastest growing medium, but we gain, to be kind of blunt, share of voice, share of ad spend, demonstrably, which I can say after being out here many nights, in the media marketing world.
Got it.
Yeah.
Great.
Good.
Great.
Really appreciate this.
Yeah.
It's good to see you, Rick.
Very much.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Likewise. Thank you very much.